And now for something completely different. This is a brand new electric vehicle. It's from the London Electric Vehicle Company. Who are they? Well, they've been making London taxis under the Car Bodies brand for many years. In 2017, they were taken over by Geely. So when it comes to making durable vehicles that last a long time, they know what they're doing. So London Electric Vehicle Company. This is the VN5, which stands for van, and it's 5 cubic meters of storage. The key factors about this, using their knowledge of making durable taxis, they decided to make an electric vehicle from the outset. So this isn't a van with bits bolted onto it. This started out as a clean sheet design for an electric vehicle. It's got the electric batteries in the floor. They've got about a 75-mile range. It's also got a petrol generator to top up the battery to extend the range to 300 miles. As you can tell, the styling is completely different from anything else on the market. Very new vehicle. It's only been in production since the 2nd of November. We're filming this in December, so very, very new vehicle. I've not seen any road tests on it or anything, so very excited to get behind the wheel and see how it drives. So let's take a closer look behind the wheel. Okay, first drive of the electric van. So this is one of the first fully electric vehicles. First thing, when you step in, it's quite a strange environment. There's lots of cubby holes, there's big cup holders here, there's big deep pockets in the centre, really good centre console. And then you've got this sort of strange, chunky binnacle here with your gear lever, the start-stop switch. And then above that, we've got all the usual sort of multimedia things and the heating controls at the bottom, steering wheel controls, and an OLED display for the instruments, which is quite cool. So, right, the acid test is, let's see how it drives. So foot on the brake, it's an automatic. You rotate this knob, the switches all light up and it starts making a buzzing noise. Then, just a case of popping it in drive, releasing the handbrake, and we're good to go. So let's see. The first thing is it's so quiet. It keeps making buzzing noises. It's quite nippy. It's got a 31 kilowatt battery pack, and the other thing that is worth mentioning is it's made in Coventry. Yay! So this is a British built vehicle. We'll head out onto the open road. So it's only driven 230 miles, this electric vehicle, so we're one of the first people to test it, which is brilliant. It's very quiet. Very little wind noise. We're only doing 30 miles an hour now. The road opens up, so let's see what it's like on the open road. It's got great pickup. I really like this electric motor. So as we mentioned before, 75 miles, I think they say sort of 50 to 70 depending on how you're driving, on pure electric. But you've got the petrol extender, which takes the total range up to 300, so there's no real worries about range. You can always top it up at a petrol station if you get stuck. So if you want to drive from Land's End to John O'Groats in a single journey, you can. Just fill it up at petrol stations like a normal vehicle. The charge points, it has 2 charging sockets with it, so it can use most public charge points. So the big question is, how do you recharge it? Well, you've got 2 cables supplied. This great big fat one is for public access fast chargers. So that's on the motorway network, places like that. The other cable you've got is this cable, slightly thinner. This plugs into your domestic 3-pin socket, slightly slower rate of charge, but it'll still charge it overnight for you. And it's got the usual sort of battery charger so you know what's going on. So very easy to recharge, very simple. There are 2 cable connection points on either side of the grille. Simply press the panel to access the plug. When you're done charging, press the key fob to release the cable. This is a security feature. Well, if this is the future electric vans, I really like it. It drives great. So, the quietness. All you can hear is a little bit of tyre noise, and even those are pretty quiet. With the weight of the batteries being low down, the handling is really good, and the acceleration is instant. You don't have to worry about gears. The torque of the electric motor is instant at any speed, so as soon as you put your foot down, it reacts instantly, which is really pleasant. So we're doing 55 now. Lovely. We do a lot of miles in this. Seats are really comfortable as well. I've not adjusted the lumbar support. I've just sort of plopped myself in, and even without adjusting anything, the lumbar support is in the small of my back, feels comfortable. Their experience of making taxis clearly pays off when it comes to vans, because they know how to make a seat comfortable for a long duration. So I can see myself driving to the south of France with this without having any backache, which is nice. I'm only supposed to be going for a little test drive, but I'm enjoying myself here, so I'm going for a bit further. Going to spin round here and let's see what it's like pulling out of a junction. Let's give it some beams, see what it does. Oh, this is great fun. You can't not like this vehicle. Good stereo too. The heating controls. Oh, you can just poke them up with your finger. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Another thing that's worth mentioning, I don't think it's set on this vehicle at the moment, but there's 2 levels of regenerative braking. You can set it so I'm having to press the brake here, so it feels like a conventional vehicle, but you can set it so that the regenerative braking is a bit more pronounced, so you don't actually have to touch the brake pedal except in emergency braking, obviously. So that will be quite relaxing to drive, because you'll only be using one pedal, you don't have to move your foot. So I'm not sure how you alter that. It's somewhere in the settings, but this is just a quick first drive, so we haven't had time to play with that. Well, my big worry was, because obviously it comes from a manufacturer of taxis, and this is their first venture into vans, does it drive like a taxi? No, it doesn't. Or rather, if taxis drive this well, they're great, modern taxis. So how does it compare with other commercial vehicles I've driven? Well, I'd say it's better. It's smoother, it's more refined, it's got great grip, and the handling in the corners is brilliant. That low down battery just makes it really stable. So if this is the future of where camper vans are heading, well, great, bring it on, I'm all for it. I really like how this drives. I will buy one of these, I think it's great. What one? To put it in reverse, you just push it back twice and it says reverse on the display. It's got a reversing camera too, which is good. The VN5 also has an amazing turning circle of just 10.1 metres, which is class leading. To put that in context, a VW short wheelbase has an 11.9 metre turning circle. One thing you do notice about the VN5 is it's got a really wide opening door and the access to it is really good. So I think that should make it a really good camper van. Plus this forms a natural step to have a mug of coffee on a campsite. So yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting vehicle. It's a great looking vehicle as well from the back. I think it's got a bit of a modern Defender look to it with the way they've done these light clusters. The other thing that's worth mentioning is all the panels on the vehicle are made out of impact resistant plastic, so it makes them durable and easy to replace. They're quite light too. It's a pretty massive load space, so when it's converted to a camper van you should have plenty of room, and it all feels quite durable and tough. Even the roof is plastic, so it's a very interesting vehicle. The actual structure underneath all these plastic panels, it's an aluminium monocoque, but it's also anodised aluminium, which protects it from corrosion, so it should be very durable in the long term. They obviously have a lot of confidence in their build quality too, because you get a 5-year 150,000 mile warranty on the base vehicle, and you get an 8-year 150,000 mile warranty on the batteries, and I think they can be extended too, so clearly it's aimed at the durable longevity market, which, you know, comes from their background of building taxis. If you've seen a London cab wandering around the capital, it's probably been built by this company. But that's enough of that. We'll show you more of the interior when it's converted to a camper van. Wellhouse are currently converting their first LEVC, which should be ready in the spring. Judging by these pre-production photos, it should look pretty stunning when it's done.